Is your ex emotionally unavailable or not? That's what we're going to be talking about in this video. We're going to be talking about what you can do in this sort of situation as well. So please make sure you watch all the way through to the end. With that being said, let's go ahead and get into it. Hey there, it's Clay with modernlove.life. You might be wondering if your ex is emotionally unavailable or not. Emotional unavailability is really common after breakups. In fact, most people are probably going to be emotionally unavailable after a breakup. Of course, emotional unavailability isn't just the whole hey, I feel nothing, I'm a emotionless robot kind of thing. Of course, that's probably an emotionally unavailable person right there if they're doing that. But it also shows up in all sorts of other ways as well too, like rushing on into rebound relationships, spreading bad things about you, emotionally shutting down, all sorts of stuff like that. Your ex is probably emotionally unavailable right now. But there's two types of emotional unavailability that's important to know about. There's long-term emotional unavailability, which is someone who's, just been somehow emotionally hurt or wounded at some point in their life, probably their childhood, and they've just been sort of emotionally unavailable as sort of a really consistent, steady sort of way, probably before the two of you were in a relationship, then during your relationship together, and then of course after, they're probably going to still continue to be emotionally unavailable. Then of course there's regular, ordinary people that are emotionally available, and then they just go through something kind of traumatic, like a breakup, or other sorts of traumatic things like the loss of a loved one, loss of their job, loss of their house, something else that just kind of shakes them in a significant kind of way. Now that of course can give someone the experience of being emotionally unavailable for a period of time, but then as that person sort of works through their emotions, they can come out of it and be ready to have a fully connected, heartfelt, emotionally available relationship with someone in the future. Now, whether or not your ex is one of those or the other, if you've had a recent breakup, they're probably going to be at least emotionally unavailable in a temporary sort of way. The important thing to know is that there's really nothing that you can do to make them not be emotionally unavailable. Of course, some things that people do after a breakup can cause someone to behave as if they are emotionally unavailable. If you're overly clingy, needy, texting them or calling them many, many times a day, begging, pleading, all that sort of stuff, what we would call damage control mode, that can cause someone to behave as if they are emotionally unavailable. They'll keep a lot of distance between the two of you. They're not going to commit. You could experience hot and cold behavior. There's all sorts of things that could show up at that point. So we want to make sure that we're correcting our own way of being, how we're showing up in the interaction and in the moment, so that we can invite them to not do that, if that's the case. I guess that's the easiest way to put that. But then the second thing that we can also do is we can present them with the opportunity to actually have a good relationship with us by having a same team conversation, good clear communication, all sorts of stuff like that. And if they're able and willing to do that, then they can come out of that emotional unavailability or leave any sort of unproductive things behind. Because there's all sorts of reasons why someone might potentially be emotionally unavailable, just due to poor beliefs that they could be having about men and women, or how you're supposed to relate to your ex after you break up, or all sorts of stuff. People are like, oh yeah, women are the enemy. You have to do X, Y, Z, otherwise they're gonna, take advantage of you and take half of your money or something like that. Or people might say, yeah, men are terrible. They only want one thing, and so you have to play hard to get and manipulate them and string them along and all that sort of stuff. If you're dealing with people that are showing up like that, chances are you're not choosing the right people. Or maybe you just have really poor experiences because of maybe relationships that your parents had or something like that. But either way, we can invite them out of that game. We can invite them out of the game playing, out of the us versus them kind of thing, out of the men versus women, or the, hey, I have to one up my ex kind of thing, or I have to make it seem like I'm in a relationship first kind of thing and all that. And if they are able to come out of that, awesome, great. We can do that through the process that we outline inside of relationship repair over at modernlove.life/RR. Link down below in the description. If it sounds like the right thing for you, hey, you're more than welcome to sign up. We'd love to have you. If not, no worries. You can also support this channel by giving us a thumbs up or by subscribing to this channel and hitting that bell icon while you're down there subscribing. Totally free ways to support the channel. What you want to do is you want to look for some of these things in your ex. Are they potentially fast forwarding? Are they future faking? Are they breadcrumbing you? Are they giving you hot and cold behavior? These are all very common things that someone's ex could experience. We've outlined this in our 5 stages of getting back together video series that we've put together before as well too. You can find that right up over there. What we really want to do is we want to change how we're showing up if we need to. Like if you need to get out of damage control mode, okay, get out of damage control mode. And then what we want to do is we want to present them with the opportunity to have a great relationship, a great dynamic and connection. If they take us on that, then they're probably not emotionally unavailable. It was just something about how we were showing up that was causing them to sort of, shut down. Or, they're working their way towards being emotionally available again, but they could still just be a little bit raw or something like that. But there's hope in that situation. If they're not willing to do that, then there could be all sorts of other things going on as well too. But basically they're not ready. The right person at the wrong time is still the wrong person. And so the last thing I want you to do is to get hung up on someone when there's just nothing materializing there. Obviously, if there's some kind of progress happening, it doesn't have to be like, hey, we were broken up and now we are back together. Like, obviously that's progress, but it can simply be something like, okay, we were just barely talking and now we're connecting more on an emotional level. That can be progress too. But if there's no progress happening whatsoever, the last thing I want you to do is to be holding your breath, putting your life on pause, and closing yourself up to other possibilities for meeting someone who could very well be ready to have a great heart-centered connection with you. So if you've made it this far, please drop a comment down below letting me know that you made it to the end. I love it when you watch all the way through to the end. And also let me know what you think has been the most impactful thing that you're going to put into practice in your relationship. Then if you want to learn more about those 5 stages, please feel free to check out this video series right over here. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. Take care, and I'll talk to you next time.